Hello. Excuse the hair. I'm going to be doing my nails today and I can't stand when the hair is like in my face when I'm doing my nails. I'm working on my nails. And I'm also going to be talking about the 6.5 books that I loved this year. My favorites. Yeah, I'm excited. My nail inspo is these like cutie, shorty, square French tips. I have these tips. They're just from Amazon. Tamika square, extra short square, no file nail tips. I haven't used these much. I'm not a huge square girly, but we're gonna try it. I think the tips will help me like it a little bit better. And it has this kind of sparkle in it as well. I don't know if it's hard to see. I have this light on me so I can see what I'm doing. Then my sparkle is going to be Beetles. Beetles, this is the color. And then I have a little builder gel moment. This is from Normal here in Norway. It's like a little, how would you describe it? It's like a little, they have everything, kind of. It's almost like Norway's version of Target in the sense where you go in looking for one thing and then you buy a million. However, it doesn't have as much stuff as Target has. It doesn't have clothes, doesn't have food, you know, things like that. I'm gonna go bright white, and it's Beetles as well, maybe. And this is the shade. Is it upside down? Oh, can you read it? There. I don't know if the shades mean anything with Beetles. I mean, I'm sure they do, but like also kind of seems like they don't. I don't know. First thing I'm gonna do is buff my nails. And then I'm gonna apply I have from, I don't know how you say this, Modelones. I have their nail dehydrator and their nail primer. And I can talk about the first book. Number 6 is The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. I liked it. It had an impact on me, which is kind of what this list is. These books, I might not necessarily given them all 5 stars, but they had a tremendous impact on me. And The Bell Jar was one of them. This follows Esther, who she's working in New York for the summer as a fashion magazine intern, the summer of 1953 to be exact. It's kind of just about her life and like the inner workings of her mind, kind of, and her mental health comes into play, her friends, her romances, dinner dates, going out, all of those kinds of things. Very relatable type stuff. So I didn't give it the highest of rating because it is a little bit on the slow side. You're just getting the mundanes of this woman's life. And this is partially based on Sylvia Plath's actual real life. Sylvia Plath dealt with a lot of darkness. This character, Esther, kind of echoes that from Sylvia Plath's life. Haunting, really, is a good word for it. Some of the imagery that it goes through, this might be a little bit of a spoiler, but the main character kind of starts off as this having fun in New York City type of person. And then when she returns home after her internship is when she kind of starts to go downhill. There is this one scene where she is crawling into the wall of her childhood home. It was just haunting. Like, the imagery that she uses was, the words that she uses, how it made you feel. It was just all like locked in. Very, very good writing. So I think that's why it made such a big impact on me, is because It really just made you like feel things. But I wouldn't necessarily recommend this to everybody because it is dark and it has that sort of, it deals a lot with mental health and some of the things that come with it. If you are interested in a book that is going to really make you feel things and just like think inwardly about yourself, about the people around you, then this is a good one for you, for sure. Okay, I've measured out all of my nails to fit my fingers. We're gonna move on to the next book. Number 5 is Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. This is definitely more of a fun one. Basically, we are following our main character, Ryland Grace. He is I think he's like a high school science teacher of some sort. The world is ending. The sun is dying, and the world governments, they have like out of desperation to save the planet, they are sending a team into space, and this teacher, Ryland Grace, is a part of that. This is all on the back too. He is the sole survivor of this mission. So the other people that he went with unfortunately did not make it. So he's the only person up there in space. It is up to him to save humanity. Ryland Grace has almost a Ryan Reynolds type humor. It's a lot of sarcasm. It's a lot of self-deprecation in a way. It was just really good. It was really funny. There's unpredictable friendships. There's discovering yourself, believing in yourself, all of those like nice feel-good things. It made an impact on me in the sense where it was one of the only few books that I read this year that actually made me like laugh, and like I had a good time reading it. And when it was over, I was like, oh man, I want there to be another one. And I didn't have a lot of those books, or a lot of books I read didn't make me feel that way. So I think that's why it had such a big impact on me. This one I think I would recommend to everyone. It's just like a feel-good sci-fi type book, and I just think all people need to read it. And I'll definitely be reading more of Andy Weir this year in 2025. I bought The Martian, and you know, The Martian is extremely popular. There's a movie about it, which I have seen, but I still want to read the book. And yeah, I put all of my nails on officially. Now, the task is another layer of this builder gel, and then after that, we're gonna do the sparkle and then the tip. Okay, let's do it. And we're gonna be talking about number 4. And this is a series though. So 4 and 4.5, I guess. And that is Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows. I ate these up. I ate them up. I think they are YA historical fantasy romance. Yeah, that was a lot of buzzwords thrown at you, but I ate them up. I just really, really liked them. I thought they were cute. I thought they were romantic. I thought they were lighthearted, but like interesting. And the world is real world, and the magic aspect of it is like gods and magical warfare. And the 2 main characters have these typewriters that they can communicate to each other with, so they can write letters to each other using their little magical typewriters. And I tabbed them a lot because they're just so good. Perhaps might be a reread this year because I liked them so much. So plot wise, we're following Iris and Roman, and they are young journalists. And after centuries of sleep, the gods are at war again. Iris, she feels that she's needed for a bigger cause. So she decides to become sort of this like war journalist. She goes into the thick of it. But I don't know how to explain it except that it was just really good and like touching and cute and fun, and I just really liked them. Yeah, 4 and 4.5. Next, number 3, good old bronze medal is A Prayer for the Crown Shy. This might be shocking because this is one of my favorite books of all time by Becky Chambers. The first one is A Psalm for the Wild-Built. And the reason that it is number 3 and not number 1 is just because the other 2 made a little bit bigger of an impact on me. That is simply how it is. However, the 2 main characters, Dex and Mosscap, they will always be, you know, number 1 in my heart. Truly they will. I won't tell you too much about it just because it is the second in the series, but Mosscap and Dex, they are unlikely friends and they are just trying to discover their meanings in life, their purpose in life, and you know what that means with, because Mosscap is a robot and Dex is a human, and so what they mean to each other, what Mosscap means to the rest of humanity, and it's just so good. It's a cutesy little story about finding yourself, discovering what you like, discovering what you want to do, discovering who you are. And they're just beautiful little cozy sci-fi books. Cannot rave enough about them. And then coming in at number 2 is As Long as the Lemon Trees Grow by Zulfa Katau. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. I've never read a book like this before. Man, it left me, I think about it constantly. Literally all the time. It is heartbreaking. It is very sad. Go into it with that in mind, definitely, that it is sad. This is following our main character, Salama. A list of secondary characters. One is Layla. Layla is Salama's sister-in-law. She is married to her older brother and she is currently pregnant. Another character that we're following is Hauf. Hauf is sort of this manifestation in Salama's mind. Salama is going through a lot, to say the least. She is, they're living in Syria during the Syrian war, and Hauf is sort of this manifestation of all of the terror that she sees all the time. Salama works as a surgeon in the hospital near her, and she was originally supposed to just be a pharmacist, but because of the war, there's a shortage of doctors and surgeons, so she has kind of fallen into this position of surgeon, and it haunts her. She sees a lot of things that she had never expected to see in her life, obviously. And Hauf is sort of urging Salama to leave Syria. He is kind of this devil on her shoulder, being like, you have to get Layla out of this, like you need to get out, this is not good. And then eventually going throughout her daily life of working in the hospital, seeing all of these insane things, Salama crosses paths with a boy named Kenan. Kenan wants to stay in Syria and risk his life for the cause. So it's kind of this like tug of war between Salama and Kenan, and we need to leave, but I don't want to leave my country. And yeah, it's just very heavy, very sad, very heartbreaking, but it left such an impact on me that I think about it pretty much every day, really. And it's just about the imagery that it put into my mind. It was so good. Be prepared to bawl your eyes out. There is a point in this book where you just go, what the fuck just happened? And totally took me by surprise. Didn't see any of it coming, and it was just an emotional downhill roller coaster. Ugh, awful. but amazing. Awful, but amazing. And I almost want this to be number one just because of how much I think about it. But because it is so heavy and so heart-wrenching, I didn't do that to myself. Yeah. So good though. Even though this is it is pretty graphic and heavy, I would recommend this to pretty much everybody because it is just that good. It's just that good and eye-opening and amazing and beautiful and moving. And that's why you should read the book. Okay, my number one, drum roll please. You probably know if you watch my other videos what book I'm talking about because I talk about this little duology all the time. And my number one book is Bookshops and Bone Dust by Travis Baldree. I love it. Not as big of an emotional impact as Long as the Lemon Trees Grow. However, it had an impact on me in a sense where nothing has lived up to it yet. I am constantly looking for books that give me this same feeling of just coziness and fun, lighthearted, just a good old time. The romance is amazing. All of it. It's just like a hug. I hope there is more in this series. I feel like there should be. This is Bookshops and Bone Dust is the prequel to Legends and Lattes, which was one of my all-time favorite books of last year. And I mean, this one was just better in my opinion, and the vibes were better, and I don't know, I just really liked this one. And again, I think about it all the time in terms of, is anything ever gonna live up to it? I don't know. But in this one, we're following Viv, who is also the main character in Legends and Lattes. However, in Legends and Lattes, she has kind of hung up her sword. She's a monster hunter or like a bounty hunter, something like that. She, in Legends and Lattes, has hung up her sword and opens a coffee shop and, you know, makes some friends along the way kind of thing. However, in this one, she has not yet hung up her sword. She is in the middle of this career, and she one day gets injured while they are out. Her team is like, okay, we're gonna drop you off at this little tiny town. You're gonna stay at this inn and you're gonna heal and you're gonna get better, and then we're gonna pick you up when this mission is over. And Viv is she's kind of broken up about this. You know, her life is bounty hunting and fighting and doing those things. So coming to a standstill, it's kind of hard for her to grasp that she can do it. Then she meets this, what is their name? Oh, I can't remember the name of the little bookshop owner. Fern? No. Yeah, Fern. I believe it's Fern. Fern owns this struggling little bookshop, and Viv kind of takes it upon herself to help Fern out to make sure that that place stays afloat, because Viv is very connected to it. She loves reading books but hadn't read in a long time, stumbled upon Fern's shop, and you know, they became friends and everything. So yeah, it's just cozy fantasy, really fun, easy plot, and there's a little bit of a romance that goes on. It's just good, and it makes you laugh, it makes you tear up, makes you cry, you know, all of the really fun, nice things that you want in a little bookie, right? And this one, I can say that I would recommend to absolutely everybody, because it is very low stakes, it is very cozy, it is very fun, and anyone who's like, what book should I read? I'm like, you should read Legends and Lattes and Bookshops and Bone Dust. My camera died, so I don't remember what I was saying, but I know I was talking about Bookshops and Bone Dust and how much I love it, and yeah, couldn't recommend this one enough. I finished my nails. What do we think? I like them. They're definitely a bit of a change with the shape don't know how I feel about it yet, but I like the overall design. It feels really wintry, snowy, cute. We love. That is my 6.5 favorite books that I read in 2024. Couldn't recommend these enough. And now, obviously, I need book recommendations for 2025. So please tell me which books that you loved in 2024 so I have some stuff to read this year. We'll see you later. Bye.